late 2025, one question started bothering me. If AI keeps getting better at writing code every single week, what exactly are companies going to pay humans for? Cursor made that question feel real. Cloud Code made it louder, and layoff headlines made it impossible to ignore. And that question completely changed how I think about software engineering. So if you're a software engineer, a student, or a graduate trying to figure out where you stand in this new AI world, stay with me. And by the end of this video, you'll know what employers actually care about and why another tutorial won't make you stand out and what will actually make you valuable. I was getting a lot of questions and the future of software engineering by many students, so I thought to make a detailed video about it. If you're wondering whether AI killed your path or clarified it, it will be all clear to you by the end of this video. Late 2025, the first thing that really shook me was Cursor. I remember watching it and thinking, this is something different. This is not just another coding tool. This changes what gets valued. It could write faster, edit faster, and remove a lot of the friction that I thought engineers were getting paid for. Then Cloud Code kept getting better, and layoffs kept happening after that. I actually felt fear within myself as well, because for a moment it felt like the market was moving faster than I was. But that fear ended up giving me direction. I asked myself a better question. If I wanted the best job in this world, what would an employer actually be looking for? It wasn't DSA, it wasn't another to-do list app, it wasn't my education background, it was my portfolio. Proof that I can find a real problem, build something useful, and ship production-ready code. That was the mindset shift for me. I stopped thinking like someone trying to pass filters. I started thinking more like a builder. So I started building real projects. Quick pause here, this video was sponsored by me. Yes, me. Check out this app. Right now, I'm building an app, Mala, a Hindu-based meditation app. You can try a demo at malaspace.com. Alright, back to story. And that taught me something bigger. When you build a meaningful project, you're not just practicing code, you're basically learning how to run a startup. You find a real problem, you build an MVP, you test whether the solution actually matters. You learn what real users want. And if the solution is good enough, people will pay for it. And that's why I think students, graduates, and engineers trying to stand out should stop only learning and start building. Learn along the way, build along the way, ship along the way, and focus on production-ready solutions to monetizable problems. That way, you do both. You stand out in the job market if that's your goal, and you give yourself a real shot at building a startup. The first thing most people miss is this. AI did not make engineers irrelevant. It made one part of engineering cheaper. The first draft is cheaper. Boilerplate code is cheaper. Refactors are cheaper. Scaffolding is cheaper. Provisioning is cheaper. OpenAI is shipping Codex as a delegated coding workflow. GitHub's 2025 numbers showed 4.3 million AI projects on the platform. The cheaper does not mean problem is solved. Cheaper means the market stops paying premium prices for the layer that got commoditized. So there comes a question. If code is getting cheaper, what is getting more expensive? And it's judgment, taste, architecture, product sense, trust, the ability to know when the output is wrong even when it looks right. This is where a lot of engineers are lying to themselves. They think using AI means the work simply disappears. It does not. The work moves up a level. Someone still has to decide what matters. Someone still has to define the trade-off. Someone still has to catch the silent failure before it hits production. And that part is not getting cheaper. Stack Overflow's 2025 survey said 84% of developers use or plan to use AI tools, but almost half said they don't trust the output. And 45% said debugging AI-generated code is time-consuming. That is the whole story in one sentence. Now, AI is increasing output faster than it is increasing certainty, trust, right? Here comes the career mistake that many engineers are making. Most engineers are still measuring their value in typing keystrokes. How fast can I build this? How much did I ship this week? And that's the wrong scoreboard. When code gets cheaper, the person who wins is not the one who writes the most. It is the one who frames the best problem. And that is why average engineers are in trouble. Not because AI is magic, because many people build their identity around the lowest leverage layer of the stack. And if your only edge is I can manually produce code, write code, you're competing with the fastest falling price in the market. So here comes the conclusion. An AI agent can amplify judgment, but it can also amplify stupidity. Leverage does not care about ego. It takes whatever you already are and makes it louder. And that's why bad engineers get exposed faster with AI, and strong engineers get unfairly powerful. This is why the future belongs to operators, people who can coordinate tools, system, people, decisions into outcomes, not people who confuse motion with value. So here's the new playbook that I'm going to give you. So what do you do with this? 5 things. First, become better at specs. The clearer your thinking, the better the output. Vague engineers get fake results, whether the worker is human or AI. Second, get obsessive about review. The market is moving from can you write code to can you detect bad code quickly. Third, move closer to decisions. Learn architecture, learn product, learn security, learn trade-offs, learn system design. The closer you are to the consequence, the harder you are to the place. Fourth, build proof in public. Don't just say you use AI. Show what you can sip, automate, simplify, and explain. A visible operator beats an invisible coder. Fifth, use agents on the low-leverage work without outsourcing your brain. Let them draft, let them search, let them refactor, let them run few parallel tasks, but never let them own the standard. So here's the take most people won't say out loud. AI is not destroying engineering. It is destroying the illusion that typing code was the job. And that's the good thing. Typing code was not the job in itself, because the engineers worth betting on were never just typists. They were translators, builders, decision makers, system designers, people who could turn ambiguity into systems, people who could understand business problems and transferring them into technical solution, people dealing with scalability. The future is harder. It is also more interesting. If you are an engineer trying to stay valuable in this age of agents, don't chase the cheapest skill in the market. Build judgment, build leverage, build proof. And if this is your lane, subscribe. And in the comments, let me know what do you think. And I'll see you in the next one.